Hey everyone, I am Tribal Instincts, and if you didn't know, roguelikes are probably one of my favorite genres. I absolutely love them, and if you don't know what that is, it's a game that's based off of the game Rogue that was released way long time ago, and they are typically hallmarked by being exceedingly difficult. If you die, you completely reset progress, and just being hard, right? That is standard for a roguelike, and I really like them. Now we have to find out if roguelikes can work in VR, because today I am checking out Dungeons and Treasure. That question is yes! It absolutely works. Despite this probably being probably the lamest titled game that I've ever played and still enjoyed, Dungeons and Treasure VR is actually a very fun game. It's a very cool implementation of a roguelike. It has most of the standard elements with some things that still need to be improved. Now, before we go any further, understand that this game has not yet released. This comes out November 30th, and so there is still time for the developer to make some changes. So any of the negatives that I say in this, there is still time to make them better. To that end, I am going to change the way I typically format these videos and give one single thing away right now, which is if they don't fix this before the game launches, I cannot recommend it. This game is a lot of fun. However, there is currently no progress saving mid-run. So even if you're doing fantastic, if you exit out of the game because of a time constraint or whatever, then next time you log in, your progress is back to basically zero. Now, I don't mind that if I die, I get reset, okay? I actually kind of enjoy that because it ups the difficulty and it makes it to where if you lose, there's actually consequences, which that actually makes the game more fun for me. Now, I don't like having my progress reset if I just have to go and get some dinner. So please, before you buy this game, check the comments or check the updates from the developer in the game's description. I am putting a massive disclaimer on the rest of the positive things that I say about this, that without this one feature, I don't know that it's worth playing, because you feel really disappointed after doing very well and then saying, all right guys, I need to take a break, and then finding out that everything you've done is gone. All right, moving on. And if you were paying attention, you heard correctly. Hey guys, I'm taking a break. Yes, this game has multiplayer. Now, sure, that's not too surprising for a lot of games. However, for roguelikes, I think this is actually probably the first roguelike game that I've played with other people. For the most part, I can say that the multiplayer is a very strong additive experience, meaning that the gameplay is actually pretty solid even in the single player. However, having friends with you, it just makes it more fun. It's not a required component of the game, as there are some games that make multiplayer just kind of like the focus point. This, though, it's just you're having a fun time, and hey, there's a buddy coming along with you. But for that, absolutely well done. He made the multiplayer very seamless to jump in and get involved with, and overall, like, it just was a net positive for the entire game. Barring one thing, if your friend dies, it kind of, well, it's not too great. So, if you die in a roguelike, I died, I have to try harder. If your friend dies while in VR, my friend needs to try harder so it doesn't ruin my game. I know that's a terrible thing to say, however, that's really what it is. It just... Play with people that you're all okay goofing off with, and if you can't take it too seriously. Typically for me, roguelikes, I really want to push through it, and I try, well, I'm just a full-on try-hardist in general. However, for roguelikes specifically, I really like pushing through and getting to the, well, as deep as I can possibly go. As it is right now in this game, if your friend dies, they can exit the lobby and come back in with resetting back to level 1, which that's not terrible. However, it does gimp your teammate, and it kind of spoils things, because here you are, if you haven't died and you're geared up and you're ready to go, and you have another guy with a little sword and he's just really not really able to participate. While this is not a deal breaker, I do think that there are some easy things that the developer could do to make this a better experience. But again, as it is right now, it's fun. Just go in with a group of friends and don't die. All right, now let's get into some of the details. Understand that roguelikes traditionally are, well, the actual roguelike was very simple in graphics. It actually had just kind of black and white squares. That was it. That was the whole roguelike experience. And traditionally, roguelikes have kind of maintained a very lo-fi type graphical appearance. this game does not really go away from that. Actually, they go in and they really embrace it. They're using like the typical like voxel-based character models, and I think it actually really works for it. For the most part, I didn't have any issues with the environment. It did get a little bit repetitive over time. It would be nice for a little bit more variety. However, for the most part, I did enjoy the cartoony, blocky type graphics. All the items that you had, the guns, the weapons, the wands, whatever it was, it all worked together. It all had a very similar theme, and a great job of implementing that. Some variety would be appreciated. Nothing amazing in the sound department, however, nothing as a detractor either. All the sounds, they meshed well, it felt right, it just worked. So for the most part, whenever I don't really remember sounds, it's probably because they did the sounds right and it wasn't blatantly annoying. Progression was handled a little bit differently in this one than most roguelikes that I've played. This one, you went through and you collected a lot of items. Now these items weren't items that you actually equip or wear for the most part. These are actually just like kind of generic stat increases, which just continue to stack and stack and stack, which while I like that, I do kind of prefer more of the inventory type approach, or at least more of it than what was there. Here you could pick up some different weapon types, and there are more than even what I saw. However, I felt that it was a little bit bland, and I would appreciate some additional things that make it feel more like an RPG than just picking up a stat boost. Like it didn't feel right. I didn't connect with the item power-ups as they were. It would be nice to be able to collect some loot, and yeah, I'd like to be able to wear maybe a more awesome looking helmet. All right, so taking a step back and thinking about this from somebody else's perspective, somebody who is not already obsessed with roguelikes, this might not be the game for you, okay? If you already know going into this that you don't like roguelikes, you probably won't like this one, okay? It has most of the same things that make me love a roguelike, and it makes other people just completely despise the genre. Basically what that means is if you're under 20, you probably won't like this game because you've been raised on Care Bear titles and you just like everything very easy and given to you right off the bat. Alright guys, I am done talking. If you want to see the gameplay, there's a link in the description below for basically just a raw, full playthrough of what we did. You can see all the bugs, all the glory, all the awesomeness, all the terrible things. You can check that out and let me know what you think. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please hit the like button below. If you didn't, hit the downvote button and tell me what I can do to make them better. And if you want to see more, hit subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video.